Well, greetings and salutations, everybody, on this wonderful Easter weekend, day before Egg Day. Uh, of course, everybody else is going to be enjoying the day off tomorrow. I am not. So I just figured I'd put a little update together here for those who are wondering what's going on with the test. To this point, I still have not yet. Well, I'll go into that in a second. Um, so far, oh, what's up, Sean?
Hello.
Hello. So, to this point, the only rejections that I have received or objections to my tests that I've received, let's see. Dell says I should do a different test, meaning the test that he wants. Halisha. What do you call it? Which actually in itself proved the curvature of the Earth, but I still have not yet received the full footage of the video that he made, published, and then hid from everybody, which he showed in that video against mine. Let's see. PW, we all know what happened there. He lied about how I was going to set up the test, so therefore screwed it up completely.
A little bit.
And of course, Bob says perspective, which number one, angular size is unavoidable in any real life test. So saying that I'm not taking into account perspective is pretty stupid. But of course, he offered no constructive information about this, about what to prepare for and what's most likely to happen. What's going on, everybody in the chat? I realize I'm hitting people kind of early in the States, and
It's 10 o'clock.
Well, plus everybody's running around hiding eggs and shit. So, I'm not expecting a whole lot of people running around. Actually, I'm surprised that Sean's even here. But so I have not received any legitimate gripes against the test from flat earthers, which I find humorous. Let's see. And now something else I'd like to bring into view here real quick. Hold on. Is the fact that there still are, obviously dozens of people out there who are still calling me a scam artist and a money grabber and all this other stuff. Y'all need to understand something here. To this point, everything that has been purchased for the test, which is basically everything for the test, everything that has been purchased for this test has actually been purchased outside of that Indiegogo campaign. Okay, as in, I have a good friend who had the financial means and was willing to front me the money for what had been raised, and that's how I was able to get a hold of basically everything. I would like to just show something here real quick here, just so nobody has any other questions here. Let's see here. Is that the one I'm signed into? Yes, that's the one I'm signed into. Okay, now this is the dashboard for my Indiegogo test. Okay, or for the bending water test. Okay, 3,490 US dollars, which is about 3,103 euros. This is all the basic information. Nothing new to show here. Everybody who's been to this page has seen all the information there. Now, I have the ability to view the backers. I am not going to put that out to the public because that has people's personal information on it, and everybody knows how I feel about spreading that kind of stuff.
Right.
Now, let's see. Campaign insights. This got a lot of great info on it. 20% of it was funds via people who were surfing through Indiegogo. This was the money raised and how fast it was raised, and man, that shit was quick. I really wasn't expecting that, honestly. Let's see, and it gives you all kinds of great information. Where the money came from. Here's all the countries where the money came from. Number one was the United States, then of course Australia, Sweden, United Kingdom, Germany, Canada, etc. And they got a lot of great info on here. Now, I'm not going to show you. The items is just what the items were that were in the perks. What do you call it? The perks themselves are just which ones were purchased. Now I can also export this out to a CSV. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's basically a spreadsheet format. It's called comma separated values. And now the one I'm not going to show you, I'm not going to show you perks claimed and donations because that has people's personal information on it. It's listed, okay? And I'm not going to put that on this Hangout, of course. But this is what I really wanted to show everybody here, and that is finances, okay? Estimated upcoming disbursement of $3,018. That's after all fees and all this other stuff. Okay, that's what I'm expecting to get. Now they wrote on here that is estimated disbursement week is the week of the 5th of April. That was 2 weeks ago. Okay, now reserved funds. This is something that Indiegogo does. It's also listed in their terms of service. They withhold a small portion of it for I think it's 60 days for any pending refunds, which is fine. You know, that's just what they do. Okay, and then here's all the information, all that breaks down to net balance before that with all their regular fees. Now, this is what I want to show you. Okay, disbursement history. This is where they're supposed to, at some point, list to me the dates that they sent money. No disbursements. I have not yet received 1 cent from Indiegogo. Now, that's not a hit on them. I'm being patient. And plus we got the holidays going on right now, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm being as patient as I can, but I just wanted to show that not 1 single cent has been sent to me yet. Okay. So now I have my thoughts on that. I did write them and I was just like, I think it was like 5 or 6 days after the 5th, I wrote him an email and I'm like, yo, what's up? I understand transfer takes a minute and stuff like that. So I'm being patient. And they wrote me and they said that, all the campaigns go through a terms and safety review prior to disbursement of funds. Now, what all is entailed in that, I don't know. But let me bring up one thing here. And this is actually quite important. Now, like I said, I've received nothing from the site yet. Okay, so that being shown what it is, like I said, I possess all the stuff for it now. I'm going to need a couple more bucks still once I get those funds for gas and stuff like that. Because, like I said, it costs about $100 for me to do a round trip. But what I wanted to show here, now this was informed to me by a friend. There are 2 people who are actively trying to recruit folks to get my campaign shut down. Okay. Now they're doing it on the higher reason of the terms of service for Indiegogo. I already wrote to Indiegogo about this, and I already explained to them that although the word raffle is used, because Indiegogo is strong against making campaigns that are raffles, my campaign is not a raffle. My campaign is to build a test that I'm going to perform, and then somebody's going to get the camera that I used. Okay, my campaign itself is not a raffle, but these 2 idiots, their names are Flat Enough and Unbelievable Productions, are actively trying to recruit people to get my campaign shut down. Okay, and to basically make it so I don't get any money out of this. Meaning that's to pay for this. Now, ultimately, what that'll mean, and I've already spoken with a friend of mine since this was shown to me. This was shown to me about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. I've already spoken to the buddy of mine, and he's perfectly cool with me making payments back to him. Now, I'm going to say this: if this ends up getting shut down, okay, and I end up not getting the funds for it, unfortunately, I mean, everybody will know because they'll all get their money back. Okay, Indiegogo will refund everybody's money. Okay, I have not seen a cent of this, so this isn't even in my hands yet. And so the thing is that I want to make sure that everybody's aware that I do have people who are actually actively trying to shut this down. Now, I don't know who Albus is. That might have been the guy who wrote it to me. I don't know. But he says, who cares about a raffle? Let him do his experiment. Now, these are people, this Flat Enough and Unbelievable Productions. Now, I haven't seen any chatter beyond this, so I don't really know. But what do you call it? Cats Killer, Nathan Oakley, and Quantum Eraser. He's a moron anyway, and he anyway. It wouldn't put me past. I wouldn't put it past these guys to try and shut this down. But let me tell you what's going to happen here. The test is still going to happen. Period. I don't really care. Okay. The test is still going to happen. Why? Because I already have the stuff to do it. So trying to get it shut down afterwards is only going to put a minor financial burden on me. And what do you call it? Like I said, I've already talked to my buddy, and he has already discussed we've already discussed what's going to happen if this happens. And if it does get shut down by these idiots, okay, then the only thing that's going to change is that there's not going to be a giveaway for the camera. Because, like I said, everybody will have received their money back from Indiegogo. Like I said, it's not even in my hands to make the decision. Okay, they'll shut it down, they'll send the money back, and that'll be the end of that. But I'm hoping it doesn't come to that because I really want this to go through the way I originally planned it. And but hard to both these idiots. The test is still going to happen, so I don't really care. Let's see. I saw Flat Enough trying to get people to report your page. Yeah, what a slime ball. Yeah, and
aren't the flat earthers always saying do your own research, do your own experiments, do something that's where people. And here's at least one of them is a big name. Flat Enough is actually a pretty big name in Flat Earth.
Okay.
At least in chats, everybody knows who he is.
Right.
Why is he trying to stop the test? That Flat Earthers are always saying do experimentation, find out.
Because Flat Earthers want to make sure that they sabotage any and all things that go against their narrative.
There you go.
Sabotage. That's all it is.
I've always said they don't want you to actually research. They want you to watch their videos. They don't want you to do tests. They want you to take their word.
Yeah. Let's see. If I would have done it to you, I would given it to you through another way. Well, you see, Sobi-kun, that's an interesting point. Donating to me through another way. I actually avoided doing that. There was a couple of people who tried to. They wanted to send me money directly and stuff like that, and I didn't want that. And the reason why I didn't want that is transparency.
Yep.
I wanted people to know exactly how much I got and exactly how much I was using. Now there was a couple of people, and I still thank you guys for that. Who, when I was talking about PW's review of my thing, and I was trying to avoid using a laser to do the post 15, post 16 test. I had said that, right now the funds were pretty much almost exhausted, and I wasn't going to be putting a laser into it, and people sent me money through the super chat, and I really appreciate that, and we're going to see where that goes. But unfortunately for that month, that was the only money that I got on there, so I have to wait until I've reached over $100 before Google will pay me. So so it's just kind of a back and forth thing. But like I said, idiots like these two. Okay. And I don't know if there were any responses from Catskilla, Nathan Oakley, Quantum Eraser, or any of these guys. Okay. But they were obviously informed. This is a Flat Earth Discord. I don't remember the name of the Discord. The guy who sent it to me told it to me. But this was in a Discord. And so me personally, this right here, and don't come at me with terms of service and all this other stuff, which you don't understand and didn't contact Indiegogo in the first place. Don't come to me saying that you're defending the terms of service of Indiegogo. Number one, Indiegogo is not yours. Number two, if you were defending terms of service, you would be against about 2/3 of the flat earthers who make videos and use copyrighted material. Number three, this has nothing to do with this. You are just trying to get my test shut down. Now, let me read off to this. This has nothing to do with. Let me show you why this has nothing to do with Indiegogo. Report Sly Sparkane for holding a raffle. Blah 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 to Indiegogo. Everyone, if you have time, if you have the time for it. Otherwise, in some hours, he walks with $3,000 that he scammed from the ignorant and the gullible. Okay, now I don't know if Flat Enough here has been following anything. Oh, thanks, Lauren. Really, I appreciate it. Um, the I don't know if Flat Enough has been following all this, okay, but I've had to purchase all of this stuff already. Okay, I already have it purchased. It's not like somebody's just, it's not like PW said that I'm going to buy a camera and then pocket $2,000. Okay, not like that
Well,
at all. All the
if
rest
I
of this
can,
stuff costed money.
if I can run the definition of a scam real quick for Flat Enough, so he can understand, because he's gonna watch this. Flat Enough. The definition of a scam, where Sly would walk away with $3,000, is to accept money from people under the guise of one purpose and then not using the money for that purpose.
Gee, who do we know who's done that?
That would be Jaron with his first balloon launch that never happened.
Mm-hmm. Thrive and Survive with a second balloon launch that never happened.
Right. I believe I could almost consider Anthony's little "I'm going to get a paper into the schools" that got rejected, but again, not entirely his fault. He just made a crap ass paper that they wouldn't accept. So that's not really a scam.
And more guile for his rent just because he's a loser.
And his car battery and
yeah. But of course, we'll get a bounce back on that one because of the fact that we helped Red out.
Technically, about the rent, we can't determine if that's a scam or not because he might have used it to pay rent. He might have used it to buy drugs. We don't know.
Thanks, Aussie Globehead. I appreciate that, man. Really do. But this ultimately, what this is this is not some kind of standing on high principle for the good of Indiegogo. This is people who are trying to shut me down just for the sake of shutting me down. And I'm sorry, guys. The only thing that this would change, again, I'm going to say this again. The only thing that this changes, if these guys actually were successful in shutting my thing down, and that's why the funds are taking so long. Okay. The only thing that this would change is that nobody gets the camera and the test is still going to happen anyway. That's it. That's all that changes. Okay, so to Flat Enough and Unbelievable Productions, who is echoing the claim and is also pushing it, yeah, I just checked out on this campaign, absolute scumbag. I am going to report his campaign. Sounds like a pyramid scheme. Oh my God.
Does he know what a pyramid scheme is?
No, apparently not.
Oh, so who are you promising to make lots of money while they pay you money?
Right. A pyramid scheme. He says it right here. Sounds like a pyramid scheme. To sucker globe heads out of their money. This is how stupid these idiots are. Okay. Hopefully Nathan will address this tomorrow on the show. I don't know if he did or not. I don't watch Nathan's show. Since trolls like to bring up Nathan's super chats all the time. Actually, no. Let me bring that. Let me zoom in on that for you for a second. Nobody really cares about Nathan's super chats. Nobody does. The only time Nathan's super chats actually get brought up is when flat earthers turn around and complain about globe earthers having monetized channels.
Anthony Riley.
Okay. Yeah, Riley loves to bring that up, but won't bring up his boyfriend about how much super chats and selling merchandise and all this other shit.
Oh, it's worse than that because whenever somebody mentions Nathan or something that happened on the show, Anthony usually responds with, "Hit that super chat."
Mm-hmm.
He actually does this.
Yeah, I know. And so that the monetization of a channel is one thing. It's what you do with that cash. That's important. Okay. And I don't hear any flat earthers complaining about the what is it, $1,600 that Jaron gets in Patreon? And that's just Patreon. Forget the oodles and oodles of views and shit like that he gets through YouTube, and probably gets directly from his PayPal donation way and all this other stuff. He does nothing with it. All he does is wait for the next opportunity to get paid. And what do you call it? So let's see. Hopefully, okay. I already read all that. But so this is the kind of shit that's getting put towards me. Okay, this is the kind of shit. Oh yeah, and Jaronism's nice kitchen as well. What do you call it? This is the kind of shit that gets this is the resistance that's getting put up. Not do do the test, I will accept the results. Of course not. Why would you do that? Bob won't do that. Otherwise, he'd lose a cash flow.
Oh, we got Brenda Von Ashen supporting Flat Enough in the chat.
Looks like you are offering. No, I am not, Brenda. What I am doing is I am performing a test. The finances were for a test. Okay. A test which requires a lot of equipment. A lot of equipment that I have since purchased. Okay, due to the generosity of a friend. And what do you call it? Now, what's going to happen is one of the parts that was required for that test is actually going to be given to one of my contributors.
Here's the
That's
difference
all.
between what Sly's doing and what they're talking about raffles about winning a car, for example. Usually that car is not having the money that's sent to them used for buying the car to raffle off.
Right. This is just something that is part of the test. So
it's basically saying, okay, if you send me money, you'll have a chance of winning this. That's the extent of the raffle. There's nothing else involved.
hold on a second here. You have been forthcoming about what you are doing and have shown that you bought some stuff. No, actually, Shane, I mean, I'm just adding to what you said. I have bought all this stuff. I have all this stuff. Okay. Actually, sitting right next to me, well, I don't know if you can make it sound good, but what do you call it? I have all the upright pipes sitting next to me, leaning against my shelves. Yeah, that's a rough. No, you don't understand. No, you're not getting this, Brenda, and I think you're just doing it just to be a snot.
Yeah.
What do you call it? If I were to offer up a single thing, as in or a trip or something like that, and that was all I was doing with the cash to pay for that, then you would be 100% right.
Because a raffle doesn't imply any other services being rendered, which the test is a service, which is what people are paying for. It's just part of what is used to perform that test is going to be given away to somebody. A raffle has nothing involved in that. It's just send me money, I'll pull it all together, and I'll pick somebody to buy or to win this item. The money's not being sent in for a chance at a prize. It's being used to buy equipment. There's a difference. It's upfront. It's straightforward. There's no underhandedness to it.
Yep, and nobody was hoodwinkled into this either, because it was in my opening video. Now, if you want to just keep on running on, yeah, it's a gray area, but it's it's not black and white being a raffle. So,
yeah, a raffle is generally a general fundraiser that has no set out purpose.
No. But nevertheless, other than the purpose of a raffle is actually to gain money, but that money is actually going to the organization holding the raffle, not towards something else. So let's see here. The money is literally sent in for a ticket to win a prize. No. The money is not literally sent in for a ticket to win a prize. The money is sent in to finance a test.
Two things, Brenda. People can donate and not have a quote unquote ticket like you claim.
Which is also many people have done.
Which means it's not a raffle because just sending money doesn't get you a chance. Two, I forgot my point. There was a second point.
Hold on a second here. Campaign insights.
Oh, there was people that have. How many people have said that I know you mentioned one person who sent in money that would have gotten them a perk and they said no to it. I remember you mentioning that.
I don't recall exactly who that was. It might have been somewhere in a live chat. Okay, so let me break this down for you here, Brenda. Okay, so these are the perks that have been purchased. These are the totals that have been put in there. Now let's go ahead and get out the magic calculator. Okay, so oops, sorry. What I have is 1050 plus 600 plus 550 equals $2,200. of people who bought perks. The perks are the ones that are trying to get the camera. Okay. Now, if I go back over to finances, the actual amount of money that was brought in is minus 3490. Okay. That means $1,290 is was donated to people who have no interest whatsoever in the camera, or probably have interest but didn't want a shot at it. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So if everybody was buying tickets and I only accepted things for people buying tickets and stuff like that, this would be a raffle.
Yeah, if he said the minimum donation was $25, then it would be a raffle.
Right.
But it's not.
Period.
The purpose of the fundraiser is not a raffle.
In fact, 2/3 or about a third of it, nobody even wanted the camera. I know what that says, Brenda. Why are you trying to be such an idiot? Are you not listening, Brenda?
Okay, Brenda. When somebody sets up a raffle to win a car, the car is already purchased. The money that's being brought in.
She's actually quoting the TOS from Indiegogo. I know what that says.
Right, but the implication there is the prize is already purchased, and the funding is not being used to make that purchase. The whole purpose of a raffle is to say, send me money, you have a chance to win. This campaign is not set up to send me money, you have a chance to win. If you send so much money, you might get this camera that this funding was actually used to purchase. There is a huge difference between a raffle and what Sly has done. And Shane's got it. A raffle is a for-profit thing. This is not a for-profit. Sly is breaking even with this.
Barely. Okay, Brenda, I'm. It's official to me now that you are not actually listening. Let's see here.
Is it bad that whenever I see the name of Anthony, I just get a sick taste in my mouth? I'm sorry, Mr. Bailey, but it's just dealing with Anthony so long has put a bitter taste on my mouth with the name.
Mm-hmm. Let's see who. Let's see. I'm going through this here, and just out of curiosity, who we're talking to. Doesn't seem to be a flat earther.
No, he likes to go on to, if that's the same Brenda, I think it is, goes on Nathan's show all the time.
Okay. See, now that's supposed to be the answer you give, Brenda. Let's see.
Well, Lauren, if he did that, it would actually look fraudulent on Sly's part because he had the perks and then removed them.
Yeah. And plus, I can't remove it now anyway. Everything's locked because it's the raffles or raffle. Now you got me saying raffle. The campaign is completed. Okay, so right now it's in the hands of Indiegogo. Now I had the opportunity, and I actually did select this opportunity at first. Indiegogo has this thing called In Demand, which allows you to continue to collect funds after the campaign has ended. Now, originally, I had actually selected that because I was pretty damn certain that I was not going to get the funds that I needed for this test. I guess I didn't have as much confidence in people donating money for this test. But since they did, I turned that off, and that was actually a couple of weeks before this actually ended. So, oh man. So for the idiots that are saying this is a money grab, and I still got this other guy. What the fuck was his name? Castle something. Castle Bravo. What do you call it? Came over and he was all talking about it being a money grab and stuff like that. It's odd that I haven't heard from him anymore. What do you call it? George basically agreed that it was a money grab, which I will never understand why he did that. And et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I haven't heard back from him. Basically, just about everybody who said that this was a money grab has not come to my channel to actually. Oh, okay. Has not come to my channel to actually see the updates of what's actually going on. So, I mean, that was all I really wanted to bring up on that. It was, what do you call it? This test is going to happen, period. Okay. The stuff is already here. I have it here right now. All of it. I have well, except for my pipes, the pipes I have now out at my storage bin. But this test is still going to happen. We're waiting on weather versus work schedule. But I'm going to show you this. Hold on a second here. Bamberg. Now, right here, obviously it's not happening this week.
No.
Now, there seems to be a cold front coming, which might work out into our favor, but I'm not 100% certain what this is going to look like. Now, I work all the way up until Saturday. I have a 7-day shift work schedule. It's a BS. Hey, Dave, what have you done? Actually,
let's take a look.
Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Go to channel. It's a BS money grab. Let's see what Dave's done.
Oh, he's got
Dave's got some uploads.
Yeah.
Let's see. Non-globe Earth. Well, that sounds really intuitive. Let's see. Ghost. Oh, you're the ghost banning dude. The dude who thinks that whatever ghost banning is. Let's see. Flat Earth still getting copyrights. Well, if you stop putting up copyrighted material, then you won't get hit for copyright. Go figure how that works. Let's see. Cab rides. I don't really care. That's 8 hours long. Let's see. Getting copyrights again. Yeah. If you stop using copyrighted shit, you won't get copyrighted. Let's see. Sun and moon shot.
Well, I guess that they're both of them in the sky at the same time, so that's impossible.
Oh, jeez, that's loud. Sorry.
Flat Earth globe killing observations part 2, which is a mirror.
Okay, look at this. Watch. Ready? I know. I can tell you what he's going to do. Want to know what he's going to do?
He's going to turn around and look at the moon.
Yep. And you know what he's not going to do? Hold up a ball. See, now there's the sun and there's the moon, and funny enough, look at it. It's full because it's horizon to horizon.
Imagine that.
Go for it, Dave. You're a hero.
So still looking
watch
for
this.
something.
Next time, hold up a ball next to the moon and see if it has the same phase. There you go, Dave.
So I've gone back 2 years on his video so far. And
Really?
so far,
2
that's the
years?
only actual testing he's done.
Yeah,
he's got one
man.
called, he's got a 4-hour and 39-minute hangout for Flat Earth solar noon tracking, which I think he was just part of somebody else's test.
Yeah, that was given the time frame, that was probably Subarats and his boyfriend. Let's see here.
So other than that, I see 0 testing on your part, Dave. Way to go.
Tubular. What? Tubular? My God, I haven't heard that word since the 80s.
So I find it funny that somebody's calling your test BS when they're not willing to do their own, except for going outside and looking at the sun and the moon at the same time in the sky, which is expected on a.
Isn't that Jeff Stewart?
Let me actually open up one video. I know the voice. I've never seen his face.
The guy who actually outed himself in his own video about ship tracking. Remember that shit? The AIS? Hold on, let me see. Hold on. Yeah, that's Stewart. That's Jeff Stewart.
Yeah.
Moron. So, Dave, thanks for stopping by, bud. Appreciate it. Thanks for supporting the globe.
Now I know that why he disappeared. He made a new channel. Well, changed the name of the channel.
No. That I'm not saying that was Dave. Jeff Stewart. Jeff Stewart's channel still exists. Sort of. He keeps on deleting all his stuff and then reposting all his stuff. I have him on a favorite list that I made from a long time ago. And let's see here. The fact is that they're trying to stop the test and or cause financial harm to Sly. Well, guess what? I may not make a lot of money, but if this campaign falls on its face, it's not going to kill me. Okay, this was money that I just didn't really have to put together all on this, and but like I said, I talked to the buddy of mine who fronted me the money, and we've worked out a couple of arrangements and stuff like that on how I'm going to get that money back to him. Nice little payments. We'll stretch it out over a little while, and all this other stuff. But so if they actually get it shut down, then I don't care. I mean, I care, but all it does to me is it proves that flat earthers will do everything that they can to sabotage testing that goes against their narrative.
Yep.
John 3:12. If I have told you earthly things, and ye believe not, how shall ye believe if I tell you heavenly things? I don't know if that's a positive or a negative in this sense, but I'm going to go with Galileo's interpretation of the Bible, and that is, what do you call it? The Bible tells you how to go to heaven, but not how the heavens go. And by the way, when you claim flat Earth, I've said this 1,000 times, and no flat earther gets it. When you claim flat Earth, you are actually calling God both a liar and a failure. So have fun with that. Based on a book that you don't even know who wrote. So go for it. Let's see here. Logical troglodyte. Flat Earth is reaching critical mass for mental health crisis of epic proportions. Actually, no, what this is doing is, see, human beings are communal animals. Okay, meaning that we survive in groups, and we have our strength in groups because alone we're really not all that good for ourselves. And what do you call it? So this is basically nothing. Flat Earth and all that stuff is basically nothing more than people. It's kind of a birds of a feather type thing, where if people want to, nobody that's involved in flat Earth is actually 100% agreeing with the other people in flat Earth. They're just of the same mind, if you know what I mean. Let's see. The Bible already says that God is a liar and deceiver. Well, I could say one thing. I know in the book of Genesis, even though God only had 2 humans, he couldn't find them in the garden. So,
well, then there's always you will be judged based on the way you've lived. But
right
before you're born, God's supposed to know how you're going to live. So
yeah, that's kind of rough anyway. But like I said, I I don't have really anything against people who have beliefs, especially with Easter coming up tomorrow. I don't have anything against people with beliefs. I do not have those same beliefs. Period. And I am not. I don't. The only time that I see beliefs as a problem is when beliefs cloud your logic, when they actually cloud your reality. Now, I've heard a lot of people who say I couldn't imagine a life without God and Jesus and stuff like that. Well, then you don't have an imagination.
no, hello. He's actually looking at the weather over the next week, but he's got a really wonky work schedule of 7 days a week for some stupid reason.
Yeah, when we do shifts, we do it in blocks, and unfortunately, mine got dropped all right on April, which was actually a good thing for one particular date. But then, unfortunately, I also live in Germany, and well, if you, I, I don't even trust this. Okay, let's put it this way: I don't trust it beyond about here. Okay, because Germany, especially in springtime, is very chaotic with the weather.
That's like Indiana and Lake Michigan all the time.
Mhm.
Lake Michigan likes to screw everything up.
Yeah. But no, Hillel, I don't have a spot yet. So or a time yet, excuse me. But all I've been addressing here is the fact that, again, flat earthers have not offered any objective criticism or support for that matter for my test. I got, like I said, I got from Dell. I got from him do a different test similar to the one that he did and proved the curvature of the Earth, and then took the video down. But then used snaps of that video against me, which I thought was hysterical. Then you have what do you call it, PW, who lied about my setup, and then when he got called out on that lie, felt that he had the nerve to felt that he had the right to tell me to do something and do a miniature scale test and stuff like that. Why? I've drawn it out enough times for you. How many times do I need to do it? What do you call it? But as a matter of fact, today when I went to go get something to eat, I got a whole bunch of stirring straws, for coffee. And there's a possibility I might do some little mock up and stuff like that, but that's only a possibility at this point. And then of course Bob, good old Bob, Mr. Confidential Bob, proved the spinning Earth with a $20,000 gyro that seems to have mysteriously disappeared. Yeah, Bob says that I'm not taking perspective into account, but actually gave no example of what he was talking about. Absolutely none, and gave no calculations for it of what I should prepare for. So I already know that angular size is part of this test. That's obvious. It has to do with the reason why I'm running two parallel lines down the whole thing. So let's see. If you do this on a weekend in Bamberg, I could come down and witness it, or I can eat. Hey, all the help, and anybody who wants to come visit the test when I'm doing it and stuff like that. Hey, the more the merrier, really. And I don't have any problems with flat earthers showing up. The test will happen whether one shows up or not. That's a given. But I don't have a problem if who shows up and who wants to help. So I appreciate that, Anthony. If you want to come down on, if it's on a weekend, which I'm hoping to be able to do it on, because then we can get the maximum amount of people to come by. That's just what that is. Let's see here. Soapy, they did not find out what's the. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can have Geo on guard duty to make sure nobody messes with the test.
Well, actually, the way I set it up, as far as the timeline of events, the only time that I'm going to be away, I'm probably going to be away from the observation point for the setup portion, because I'm going to be helping out with that, because I do not need to be at the observation point during the setup. As far as laying out the tubes. Now, aligning the tubes and stuff like that, I do need to be out there. So really, there's nothing going to be to guard other than that which I am sitting with. I will actually be constructing, or should I say, assembling the observation point after the pipes have been laid out. So actually, I won't be away from the observation point, and nobody will be around the P1000 for any period of time that I'm not sitting there. So I'll kind of be able to police my own stuff. Let's see. There will be one moment where when I'm doing the laser test, the post 15, post 16 laser test, that I will be away from my Panasonic camera, but I will have somebody down at the other end. So.
Oh, Muslim revert.
Where?
Muslim revert. This test will not prove the shape of the Earth.
Of course not.
It's just going to show what happens to water over a distance.
Mm-hmm. Due to the force of gravity, which pretty much sucks everything else into it.
Isn't it the force of density?
Oh yeah, force of density, right? Air pressure holding it down.
Oh no, the new one from Anthony is it's density is a force, so it's the force of density.
Density is a force.
Density is a force according to Anthony. Yes.
Interesting. Nothing to back that though.
Well, no.
No. I love it. And how does density just define which, or decide which direction to go?
That's the mystery he hasn't solved yet.
I remember when he and Who's the dude with the accent?
Oh my God, Muslim River. He's not trying to replicate the Earth in a miniature scale. He's actually trying to replicate the shape of the Earth in full scale.
Actually, this is going to be observing the curvature of the Earth in full scale. Why would I replicate it in miniature scale? What sense does that make? And how would I achieve that?
It just goes to show he does not understand what your test is doing.
Hmm. That would be, oh yeah, downity. Not gravity, it's downity.
Yeah, for him to even claim this is a miniature scale note says that he has no clue what your test is actually about.
No, none at all.
I guess the best thing you can say about the closest thing to miniature scale is when you actually get all the pipes together and line them up with their.
Let's see, seeing the density doesn't change. Yeah, it should, but it doesn't, Tim. And all, what's that?
I'm reading thin fourth.
Oh, okay. Let's see. So I guess that's all we got from the flat Earth side.
Yep.
Let's see. Nothing is miniature except for the absolute volume of water. Yeah. Well, Muslim, honestly, man, nobody wants you to give up. What I would like you to do is actually research the information that I have provided about this test before commenting.
Yeah, I mean, your comment made you look like a total butt because you obviously have not seen what this test is actually doing.
Right. And I mean, like I said, I have no problem with criticism from all sides, but at least come here prepared with the material, but. You give up. You merely made a claim and proceeded not to back it up. Well, that Derek, come on. that's 101 right there.
What do you normally say when somebody leaves a comment that is totally unrelated to the video?
Thanks for supporting the globe.
There you go.
And you know what's funny? A lot of flat earthers don't get why I write that. They think that I'm actually telling them thank you for your, that their comment was supporting the globe. I'm just gonna remind people of that because apparently I have some flat earthers listening. If I write you thanks for supporting the globe, here's exactly what I am saying to you. You have brought nothing. Okay, you have made a comment that is usually unrelated to the video material. You haven't brought any research. You haven't brought any backup. You might throw me a third party link, which I find worthless. Okay, the whole thing is that if you come to me with that information or that lack of information, then you, by default, have basically forfeited your argument and therefore, by default, are supporting the globe by delegitimizing your side of it.
Yep.
We are not on a level playing field here. How so, man? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, this test shows that the water's level curves.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not wrong.
Well, in a physics sense, of course he's not. Let's see here. Let me finish my analysis of proof of concept on your. That's right. Hillel was talking about doing some research on my test. Let's see. Shit! Don't email it to me, man. Post it.
Yeah, make a video. do flat Earth style research. Make a video.
Flat earthers tried to reach out to me. No. I have gotten nothing but denial from flat earthers, Muslim. Nothing but denial. The three people who have actually addressed my test, to my knowledge, okay, has been Dell, otherwise known as Behind the Imaginary Curve.
Yep.
Let's see, Bob from Globebusters, because Jaron refuses to speak. Because he knows what happens when he calls me a liar. And what do you call it? And then Phuket Word, aka Nick. Those are the three people who have actually spoken up against my test. Now, I just recently got some information from Salton C. Wendell, and he was just offering his critique on the connection method, something about needing a reservoir at the end of it or something like that, which I'm mildly disagreeing with, which I also told him. But no flat earthers have quote unquote reached out to me. Okay. Actually, no flat earther has quote unquote tried to reach out to me about anything ever.
Yeah, they
All
make
I,
videos about the test, but they
yeah,
haven't actually reached out to you.
yeah. Well, PW said that I should do a small scale test after lying about the procedure that the test was going to be performed. Ranty has also reached out.
Really?
Now, I saw Ranty in the chat, and Ranty had actually said that he was going to actually try and be at the test. But as far as reaching out, in what manner do you consider reaching out other than having spoked?
Let's take a look at Ranty's channel.
And to be honest with you, with all the flat earth channels out that are out there, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm not gonna know half of the stuff that people put out about this. Okay, I'm really not. And if you think that I'm actually surfing, flat earth channels for this, I'm really not. So if somebody is quote unquote reaching out to me, they're doing a poor job of letting me know what they're trying to do. What you got, Sean?
I'm not seeing anything so far on anything with your name in it in Ranty's channel.
That usually helps too. The people who like to make fun of people's names and stuff like that, putting out Sean Stuff Blurred and Lies Sporkin or whatever names that they decide like they're going to do. That doesn't help me when I'm actually looking for people who have tried to offer an objective response to something. That's just being a childish little brat.
I see nothing on Ranty's channel dealing with you in the last 4 months.
Well, then that's beyond the extent of even knowing about this test. So
Muslim, you want to rephrase your comment about Ranty trying to reach out? I see nothing on his channel.
and answering the more correct question here that let's see here, physicist, will there be a CSV or some other table format of the results available? I'm going to let you know this: every bit of footage that is surrounding the actual test, as well as the Excel documents that I'm going to be creating with just the results on them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All of that data will be available to everybody. I'm going to put it all on a Google Drive. I'm going to put a link on the bottom of it. And what do you call it? As far as footage goes, I'm fairly certain that I'll have the alignment bits on there, as well as the drone footage, as well as the walk the line footage, and maybe even the time lapse of the day's event.
Oh, okay,
I'm
let's
gonna
clear something up.
uh,
Muslim says Ranty said he communicated with Sly. Has he communicated with you?
how? I only use YouTube. As a matter of fact, Ranty, even the first time I even heard Ranty's voice, he said that I was a troll because I don't use Skype. So how did he communicate with me? Now he like I said, he was in the side chat once, maybe even twice now. But nothing of any consequence was ever discussed or anything that uh, would have any value towards or against the test. So, no.
So let's clear that up to find out if Ranty's talking out of his ass or you're just making stuff up.
Well, hold on. That would have been on, let's see. Let's see, videos. I think it was on the last live, if not the one before it. Let's see, that's perpendicular. Hoaxing flat earthers, which everybody hated me for writing. Let's see.
Now, I remember in one of the chats where you were doing one of these live updates that I was a part of, and I was actually watching the chat. He was there, and you actually acknowledged him because he was saying that he
Oh
wanted
yeah,
to be there.
I'll acknowledge everybody who comes to my videos. Especially, sadly, I'll actually acknowledge flat earthers more than I'll acknowledge regular folk. Hold on a second here, but that's only because of the fact that those are the people I'm trying to talk to. So let's see here. Hold on.
Here's the thing, Muslim. Yes, there are liars on both sides. The thing is, though, you have to, at least on our side, we'll actually show where people are lying and how, and show that they are knowingly lying. People like Anthony will just say he's lying just because he wants to discredit.
Yeah.
We're showing, and he doesn't back up the claim. He just says, "Oh, he's just lying," and then he'll make up a narrative. We'll actually go through step by step and show where they're being deceptive.
That Riley has called me a liar more times than anybody else in my entire life. But has he backed up one thing where I have actually produced a deliberate untruth, which is the definition? Okay. And the answer to that is no, not once. He uses the word liar to say that somebody's wrong. He uses the word liar to say, call somebody, supporting the globe. He uses the word liar just to defend himself. And sometimes I think he just spits it out there for fun.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Not one time has Riley ever proven. As a matter of fact, half of the videos that Riley has actually done some kind of a review on my stuff, half of those times he has actually debunked himself in the video, and sometimes even parts of flat Earth itself. Did you know that Riley actually debunked the close sun in the dog cam footage? He personally did. No, Muslim, saying the globe is a lie is nothing more than an opinion until you back it up with something. And let's take a look here. Go to channel. Have you backed it up with anything? You see this, Muslim? When you call the globe a lie, I look at this. You see my screen here, buddy? When you call it, now we're trying to have a cool conversation with you, but coming up and say the globe is a lie and you haven't done any research on it.
Oh God.
The one channel you subscribe to is Arwen's.
Yeah.
Why does that sound like this is Arwen?
It sounds like this is Arwen to give himself a fake sub count.
Well, he's not doing very good if he's only got one sub on it.
Well, no, I mean, he made the account to give himself
okay. Gotcha.
a subscriber on the Arwen channel.
Right. No discussion.
I'm not saying that's the actual case. That's just what it looks like when you have
what it looks
one
like,
subscriber. That's just what the appearance looks like.
I don't have time. Well, then how do you know what you know? You mean you've never done any research on flat Earth or globe Earth, for that matter?
So I'm sorry if that sounds like a poisoning well. From that's what it appears to me that it looks like.
Now, mind you, it goes all the way back to 2016. That's how old this account is.
So that actually is evidence against that hypothesis.
Right.
It's just really funny that you have subscribed to one channel and one channel only.
Now, let me say this. Hillel, you are 100% right. To be fair, Slice Barcane, YouTube videos are not necessarily a good measure for research. I totally agree with you. However, if you are coming to me on YouTube claiming that you've done research or claiming that something that I've done is a lie, then I want to see your work. And now I can understand if in his about he had a link out to a blog where he's done hours and hours of research, then I would have to go look at that. Obviously the video count in itself is not the result of that analysis of his work. However, I don't see anything on here.
Yeah, see that Anthony likes to look at the subscriber count and base his entire analysis on a person on that. Sly likes to go into their videos and their about page. I do the same. I don't base it on, oh, you have no subs, so you must not have a voice worth listening to. That's Anthony's stance. Yeah. I don't do that.
I don't care how many subs you got. I care about the work you've done.
Right. Because here's the misconception that Anthony's doing there. At one time, Anthony had 0 subscribers. Number of subscribers, it's literally the definition of an ad populum argument. I've got more subscribers than you, so my voice has more weight. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
It just means it hasn't reached as many people.
Mm-hmm. Now, the one other thing that I like is, I had a guy, what's his name? Nitro? came over to my channel the other day. I wish I would have screen capped it. It was funny as hell. He was talking about one of the journalism videos that I did, and he goes, ha ha, you only got 4,000 views on this video, ha ha ha, stuff like that. And I turned around, looked at his channel. He had nothing on his channel, one subscriber, or no, 0 subscribers, and all this. So I turned around and I said, well, coming from the guy who's got 0, what's your point? And he deleted his own comment. So let's see. Anthony is a potato. Yeah, okay. Pat buys subs for him.
For who? Anthony? Yeah, well, I wouldn't say buys, but
Well, on the whole purchasing of subscribers thing, we can and most likely will never know exactly who has done that and who hasn't. I mean, let's just be honest about that. When this big purge happened, that was supposed to happen and stuff like that, we were all sitting around on pins and needles watching some people, watching people's sub counts. All of us were. Truth to be told, though, we don't know exactly how thorough that was, so we'll never know. And that's why I don't take people's sub counts
right
into account, and I don't take people's view counts into account. I take into account what work have you done. Okay, let's not forget, what was that guy's name? John McIntyre, the with the mountain of evidence, which he screwed up.
Yeah, speaking of, has Jaron ever received his silver play button?
I don't know.
I don't keep up on Jaron, so I don't know if he's ever made a video on getting it. That's kind of a big deal, is to get that silver play button.
Yeah, but I mean, we know that the purchase of subs does actually exist, but the thing is that when John McIntyre came out with his video, it was the only video on his channel. He was nobody. Okay, out of nowhere, that inside of like 2-3 weeks, that video was mirrored on everybody's channels, and it had 40,000 views on it. Okay, and I think that was inside of like 2 weeks. Now, we could talk about purchase sub counts, or we could talk about what somebody thought was actually legitimate information. Therefore, it got the views that it got. And the dude only had, and the dude started out with obviously 0 subs. And this all changed for him inside of like 2 weeks. I think that happened with Simon Dan too.
Yeah, he had that one video that got put on trending, and his channel exploded.
Just exploded. Okay, so what you have today, I don't care about. I really don't. Okay, what I care about is, do you have research? This is why nobody will debate me. Okay, do you have your own performed research? Your video count tells me no. Okay, I don't care about playlists because that's usually other people's shit. Okay, this just would tell me who it is that you probably have a little bit to do with. Okay, so that tells me a little bit of your alignment, but even then, that doesn't really give me much. But then I go down here to your about, and this is also where you would usually see some text information. Now, if I see a link out to, a WordPress or something like that, or, a blog, or maybe you have another channel, or maybe you have some other work and stuff like that, I'm going to look at that. Okay, and I won't care that you only have 1 subscriber. I don't care about that. I want to see the work you've done. Simon Dan works for YouTube. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I mean, just for example there, Mr. Muslim guy, here's my about page.
Oh, wait, let me present you. Hold on a second. I got shit everywhere here. So, and present to everyone.
Yeah, there's my about page.
Oops. Wait a minute.
Presented you again.
Did I? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, present to everyone. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, if people actually want to do stuff, they usually have something in their about page.
And claiming that you don't have time, honestly, to me, weakens your opinion. I'm going to honestly say that. It weakens, in my eyes, it weakens what your opinion is of anything. Because if you don't have time, that means you're just buying the first one that sounds good. And then coming here and wasting everybody else's time saying that it means something. My about page, there we go.
Stop presenting me.
Yep, present to everyone. My about page has these 2 things on it. That's all it's got.
The whole point of an about page is to tell people about you. You apparently don't want people to know about you. So that says everything to me.
So coming to me with an opinion is worthless. So does conspiracy cats. Dude, are you going to say anything of value?
No, he's not.
Nah.
And it still says you're showing me for some reason.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm on presenting to everyone now.
But see, I'm not even sharing the screen anymore, so I don't know how it's showing me. Let me look at the live stream.
But you guys are on YouTube 24/7. Yeah, sure.
It's showing your about page.
Yeah. I'm not on YouTube 24/7. I'm on it a lot because this is a fun hobby for me. I'll admit that. But no, I'm not on here 24/7. Dude's got to sleep sometime.
And surprisingly, with all these other new names coming up and I'm like just blowing up on channels, I've not felt the need to make videos anymore, at least not as much. I might hold hangouts every now and then, but as far as making produce videos, I really haven't had a reason to.
Now, everybody said that in the beginning that, wow, man, Sly's covering this, Sly's covering that, stuff like that. I made a buttload of videos. Like, it was like probably about 2-3 a week and all this. But my thing is that I've run out of things to debunk.
Actually, physicist, you are incorrect. I no longer work there.
Oh, you don't?
No, I am presently unemployed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Alarm didn't get set one night and went to work an hour late, and a new assistant manager decided to get a chip on his shoulder and show off his power and fired me.
Couldn't stand the long hair, huh?
No, it's somebody when when he was actually a CSS, I was actually over him because I work in the cash office, and I actually had to give him a write up because he had a $3,000 mistake. So
yeah, that's worthy of a write up.
And so when he became an assistant manager, he was all kinds of wanting to exert his power over me because he was above me then. Mm-hmm. And when he finally got a chance, he used it.
Sounds like my time in the Army.
Yeah. So because I was following policy, $3,000 mistake, that's worthy of and it's not really a write-up because they can have like 5 or 6 quote unquote pink slips is what they call them. Mm-hmm. Before they actually get a physical write-up. So it's not really that big of a deal. It's just like, you need to fix this before it becomes a more outstanding problem. And he did fix it, so it was no big deal. But apparently he held a grudge because it threatened his job.
Shit. When I was in the service, I have four Article 15s.
So that's where I've been spending my last few weeks, is trying to find a job, and so far unsuccessful.
No, but my Article 15s, with the exception of one, were earned because of the fact that I did the right thing, despite the fact that it was all that conduct unbecoming crap. When you actually cuss out an officer and all this other stuff for them being a dumbass, etc.
But yeah, Chris Davison, that was the first time I was ever actually late to work in 9 years. He just had he was literally power tripping. He was a brand new assistant manager. He was assistant manager for like 2 months, and normally fact hard, yes, you do, but this guy just didn't care. He wanted to exert his power, so that was literally all it was.
This was Sean's income tax evasion in the discussion of Al Capone.
What?
They couldn't find anything else that they could get you on, so they caught you late one time, and that's what they hit you with.
Well, just the one manager. He's literally just power trip piece of shit. Because he was looking, since he became assistant manager, for ways to exert his new authority and trying to get people fired for anything, not just me, but he had a wonderful glint in his eye when he can say, just go ahead and clock out.
Right. You got any other prospects?
No.
Damn.
which is why I've not been making videos at all. Because, being at home, I should be making videos day after day after day. It's just I've been actually busy trying to find a job thing. So, yeah, there's that.
Hmm. That's crazy, man. Well, I hope for the best for you, man. Shit.
Yeah.
Let's
Well,
see here.
panic mode hasn't started hitting yet, but it's getting really close.
How is firing someone showing yourself to be a good manager? Nobody's not. People aren't concerned with looking like a good manager at that point. That is a flexing your muscles thing.
Yes.
It is not a I'm a good manager. It is a I'm the boss. That's why.
Bingo. And that's exactly the kind of attitude he got because before he became a manager, he was an awesome dude. I mean, he's funny. He was always a good time to talk with. Once he became a manager, he literally flipped the dick switch.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about, Sly.
Yep.
You know all about the dick switch.
Uh-huh. No, I mean I shit. When I was in uniform, there was a dude. His name. Well, I won't say his name. We'll call him V. But he was the same. He was the same rank as me, and then what do you call it? And then they promoted him from specialist to corporal, which is very little promotion at all. It's actually you're basically the bitch of the NCO Corps, and they promoted him to corporal and stuff like that. And the first thing that one of our E7 said to him is that you need to get this guy, meaning me, in check. Which they all hated the fact that people were coming to me about stuff, and I was just an E4 instead of coming to them. And what do you call it? And he turned around and said, "You need to get me in check," and all this. So like every 5 seconds, he would find something for me to do that was basically impossible to do, and then find some way to penalize me for it. So
Just Joe's Y in chat. He says there is no fun in having power if you're not allowed to use it. Here's the thing about leadership. You don't want your people to fear you. You want them to respect you.
right, there's a difference between being a leader and a boss.
Yes.
A grave
This
difference.
guy was a boss, not a leader.
Right. That's why I'm a sub and yeah, you might have rethought that one, man. Let's see. Nah, but what do you call it? I mean, that's just like saying, what good is having a gun if you don't shoot things with it? What do you call it? It's there. You learn different types of leadership styles from people. Like I said, there's leaders and there's bosses, and bosses just want to be there, just want to be up top. They want to be the one who can slam their fist down and stuff. And there's that old saying: "Give somebody a saber, and they'll find somebody to swing it at."
Kristen gets it. To be a leader, you have to have people to lead. If you run them off, then you're just an ass hat with power over nothing. There you go. That's
Yeah,
the difference between leading or being a boss out of fear or respect.
Yep.
With fear, you're eventually gonna get rid of everybody. You're either gonna run them off or fire them directly, and you'll have nobody to lead, which means that your business goes down. He hasn't learned that lesson.
Earthrise. I've been a business owner most of my life, and I hate firing people. Here's the thing, man. I don't hate firing people because I've had to do that many times. I don't hate firing people. I hate it when people give me a reason to fire them.
It's father disappointment thing.
Yeah. And what do you call it? I mean, if it comes to a point that I got to get rid of somebody, I do that shit with a smile. Okay, because I am getting rid of some kind of problem, or some kind of dead weight, or some kind of issue. So I never really had a problem with firing people. I hate it when I come into work and somebody gave me a reason to fire them. Meaning that I come into work and somebody hasn't done what their assigned task was, and I mean from a deliberate standpoint, like I ain't gonna do what that motherfucker says and all this other stuff. Which I've had those people, and people who make lots of money, and they turn around and say shit like that to you. Prime example is when I was running a tech control in Qatar. I had people there, dudes had been there forever, so they were actually making more money than me. And I come in, and my technicians, they come in and they're just like, I ain't doing what you want. This kind of stuff that you're complaining about and stuff. That's all leadership shit. And why should that bother me and all this other stuff? Don't give me a reason to fire you, because that's the kind of shit that ruins my day. But to actually get rid of you, hell no. I'll drop you like a hot rock and won't feel bad about it at all. Unless we're talking about, drawdowns, then I have to pick people, and that absolutely sucks. Oh well. But nevertheless, guys, I wanted to give you guys all this update on the test. One last time, I'm going to reiterate what the actual problems here are. Number one, or the actual highlights that I was putting together, and that is, I still have not received the money from Indiegogo yet. Sorry to say that, but that's just true. But that's out of my hands. That's Indiegogo. So I personally, everything that I have actually purchased for this for this test. The only objections that I've received to the test have been from Dell, who says to do another test, but won't release the information about the video that he used in his test that actually proved the curvature of the Earth. PW lied about the setup. We already know that. And so when he got called on lying about the setup, he tried to change it to, I need to do my own setup thing, even though I've already explained it 1,000 times. Bob says perspective, but Bob has yet to model or calculate or produce any kind of information of what that means. Angular size obviously cannot be avoided in this test, and nor have I ever claimed that it will be. So he's just using that as a buzzword, get out of explanation free card. Let's see. And then a lot of people have said this is a money grab for me. If it was a money grab, I wouldn't have purchased the stuff before the test. What do you call it? And I'm coming out just about even on it. And then I am aware of two people who are, now I don't know how many people they were able to draw in with them, but I am aware of two people who are actively trying to get my stuff shut down. And so to me, that's just a bitch move. So that's all I really got. Sean, I really appreciate you stopping by, and I wish you nothing but the best on finding another spot, man. That just sucks on so many levels. I've been in that position. I've been, without a job for periods of time, and it absolutely sucks. And I realize that you also have responsibilities too, which I fortunately at that time did not have. So I sympathize with you, man. And if you need any help or anything like that, you just let us know. All right.
Well, like I said, I haven't hit that point of panic yet, but that's quickly approaching, since, even if I got a job as of today, rent's still going to be an issue.
Right. Anthony Bailey, to answer your question, how can I contact you about the date and time? I will be announcing publicly. So at the moment that I know it, I will have a very short hangout announcing a date when I have a date to announce. And that is so that everybody, not just, handful of selected people or anything like that, so everybody has the opportunity, to include flat earthers, to show up to the test. I have nothing to hide, and I welcome everybody to come help out, or even just come by to watch. And to any flat earthers who might be watching here and who are supporting Flat Enough, Unbelievable Productions, Glowbusters, Phuket Word, or Behind the Imaginary Curve, make sure you take a swing by and let them know that I mentioned them in this video, and exactly what it was that I said. Why? Because they won't address it unless their subs find it interesting.
Kristen, I don't have the patience to be a teacher. You see how I deal with stupidity on YouTube? I'm the same way in real life. I cannot be a teacher.
I'd love to be a teacher, but you know what? I'm terrified of parents. I've seen so much stuff go down where parents accuse teachers. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are things that some fucked up teachers have done, but parents will find every single reason to blame a teacher for something.
Yeah, I would last as a teacher for about 4 days before I got fired from that.
Shit. And that would be the first day after a 4-day weekend. But No, so I couldn't do that. I would love to, but it's not it's you're not on even terms with the parents. Parents turn around and ruin your career in a minute,
Yep.
and so I don't think I can do that. But anyway, that's all I had, guys. So I hope everybody has at least a safe egg day tomorrow. And what do you call it? A note from my father would be to make sure if you are hiding eggs for your kids or family members or whatever, that you write a list where you hid everything at, especially if you're doing it indoors. Because me and
Egg
my brother,
smell.
me and my brother, one time we woke up early, we found out where all the stuff was, but then we got scared, figured my dad was going to get us in trouble or was going to get mad, and so we went back and hid everything again. However, we didn't hide it back in the same places where he hid it, and and we didn't find everything that we rehid. So
Oh,
after after about a week or so goes by, um,
what's
yeah,
that smell?
you start to get these strange smells in different corners, and what do you call it? So if you're gonna put stuff out there, man, make sure you list it out just for smell's sake. All right. So, and to everybody who wished me good luck on this test, I really appreciate that. I'm just waiting for the opportunity to do it. And I have all the stuff right here. Hell, everybody's tired of all this stuff being laying around my house. And after this test, if I never see another plastic tube again, it's going to be too soon. All right. So, ladies and gents, y'all have yourselves a great rest of your holiday weekend.